Over the last month, I've been playing some Greg Tech. You'll see me go from this to this in a not so efficient way. What is happening? This is a mod pack that just eats your time away. I'm only, as of recording this, at LV age and not even nearly done. I still need to get an electric blast furnace. But that is my plan for this video. We're going to take you through not really the steps of how to get there, but how I got there. I kind of just started, I booted up the mod, I didn't realize what I was getting into, and it kind of played for like maybe 4 hours straight, 6 hours straight, and well, you'll just see. I have this habit of just exploring non-stop, especially the first few days I'm in the world. It's, you know, what are you doing in Minecraft if you're not walking around doing nothing? Reminds me of my life, actually. What the fuck is that? I found this sick little village made of ice. Haven't seen it before. Really excited. This is sick. You're joking. Oh, fucking smelter. Yes. Oh my god. There's so many of them. That's it. We try again. The plan for the next world was a quick start. Spawn in, run until I found a village, and try to make a home. Try number 2. As you can tell, I wasn't too happy to be restarting again. I can't believe it. Doesn't matter. Fall through the void, spawn next to a cactus, and start walking. I had a not so favorable biome to begin with, so it would be a pretty far trip away from here. Only nice part was the fireworks that you get for completing every quest in that goddamn quest book. Fuck that thing, man. Yes.
Those two.
Yes. This would be home for the first night. Villages in GTNH are massive. They're less cute settlement, more shelter, so I don't end up fucking dying. What the fuck is that? I was exaggerating a bit when I said fireworks for every quest. Regardless, we would make it through our first night. It wouldn't be completely safe here, but parts of the village were safe because of pre-lit areas, meaning less overall mobs, even though there were still some, well, more than a few, but we would find a place to call home for a little while. Even if it did feel like this place was constantly out to get me. Which it kinda was, constantly. This would be the first house for me. Even though it's not exactly ideal. And this place would allow me to craft our first tools. Not the highest tech things you've ever seen, but it would give us some more fireworks. Some more goddamn fucking fireworks. Oh, and a couple oranges, I guess. Oranges?
Yes,
Sure.
you do too.
I definitely haven't explained why mobs can be such an issue in this pack. I'm not sure exactly what individual mods affect this, but in GTNH there's something called infernal mobs, which have essentially enchantments on their mob. While there are some you just smack down with a wooden sword, there are some that feel like a mini boss fight. Although you can cheese it. I don't know what was wrong with me here. I just needed that fucking dirt, and I needed it now. Still thinking I could save some of the villagers, I took the aggro again. Which is when this mob's enchant, whatever you want to call it, 1-up hit. He gained a bunch of health back, my wooden sword was broken. Zombie gained more health back than my total health bar. And I had to try and either punch him out or use the sun to my advantage, which was what I was going to do. After stupidly consuming some brains, some irony there, I realized my hunger bar was shot and retreated to get some actual food in me. I looked for whatever I had, carrots, berries, I think I went with carrots, and very soon after that, I realized the guy was already dead. This made me realize how important a bed would be, especially early on, in an area not truly lit up and without any form of real damage to deal. I got the wool from the sheep, struggled to relearn how to make a bed, which requires fences and a soft mallet, which is a vanilla recipe, and carpet. Like I mentioned earlier, all of the recipes are completely reworked and revamped, but we got our bed, regardless of my frustration with the pack. Stop! This skeleton I haven't seen before, and haven't seen since. This shit sucked. He just shot TNT, and I'm not a fan. Maybe I have seen him since. You'll see. You'll see. I went out to explore again. Met some new friends. Very small friends. But that didn't really stop me because I was trying to map out an area that would be my home area. Somewhere that I felt safe and could just walk around, get any materials I needed, and get through everything. At this point, I saw that we had a little island surrounded by rivers. I could try to take control of the area. Less of an emphasis on low area. What the fuck is this? Regardless, I felt that this exploration helped me with my goals, and I would continue farming resources, making stupid shit for my low home that would not last long, and we would get more acquainted with the mod pack again, as the last time I had played was maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago? It's 2026, maybe more like 6 years ago. Here's where we start getting more into the crafting intensive areas of the mod pack. You would need some materials to desiccate smaller materials and just make everything 3 times over to get one thing out of it. Finalizing my exploring here, there were quite a few of these little obsidian totems, monuments, whatever you want to call them, that had a bunch of loot, and more than a few smaller boss fights, not infernal mobs, thank God, that we made it through out of. There were more than a few good decisions I made while trying to get this done. I mean, a withering exploding bow. What the fuck am I even supposed to do with that? There is nothing a person can do. This village was starting to seem less and less like home, and I needed to start looking for other options. While the farms were nice, there just was nothing I could do here. There was not anything to salvage this area. The vertical caves made everything much, much worse. Here you kind of get a taste of what the future tool modifying will be. Assembling the first flint tools, it's really nice. You get tools that feel like they regenerate just because of the way you could repair them if you could carry a tool bench around. But this was really short-lived, thanks to, yet again, another infernal mob that I could have made better decisions about. And at first, this won't look too bad. I have an extra heart from eating varied foods that you wouldn't know about unless you've played with, I forgot the mod name, but it's in GTNH. You gain extra hearts for eating varied foods. This one hurt really bad, at least at the time. Spent the night under some dirt and didn't realize that I had a friend on top of me. Well, more than one friend, a few friends on top of me. I made it back to my grave eventually. I would be so far behind if I wasn't able to do this. And after this, I started setting up a safe area, which was necessary. At least I felt like it was necessary. This was my little grass base. I didn't really feel safe here either. Yes, there were torches, yes, there were less spawns, but it didn't really feel like home yet. You may have noticed that I already have an iron pickaxe head, but there was something else on my mind, and it was this area with 100% humidity. Regardless, I would go on and dig some mine shafts. The mine generation is different, the ore generation is different, and I would immediately regret it. That's crazy. It's not like it was the longest trip back. I retrieved my stuff. I made it through mining, which shouldn't be the biggest obstacle in this mod pack, but we made it through yet another night, yet another day, and it felt like I was making some progress throughout the mod pack, including a stable-ish food generation source, which would be these berry bushes. It wasn't ideal, and eventually you'll see I get to kitchen blocks, which might not be this video, but it will be a video that I show all of you. Fuck creepers, man. This smelter aspect seems like a huge deal starting out in the mod pack, but later on it's not as big as it seems. There's a lot to go through it. You have to make grout, which is gravel, sand, and some clay dust, and some water to top it off. This shit was mind-numbing. I think it took me 4 real-life days to get through all of this, and I needed something else to do, but we made it through that. The smelter finally being finished was a beautiful feeling. I went overkill, which is why it took me so long, and I realized that at the time, but it was something that I felt like was necessary because I never got further into the pack before that. Little did I know that getting throughout the rest of it would be such an issue. Yeah, this giant ass zombie just bodies me. Get my shit back. Under protest. I'm not happy about this. Use the villagers to get some more cotton, which early on is pretty important. I'll give them that. I want to make some backpacks. I want to make things easier. But these tools are the real issue, which aren't the hardest thing to get. It's more repeating them. We get our brass to make some molds. molds allow us to move from our iron pickaxe head to our bronze pickaxe head. And more importantly than that, moving from bronze and stopping using bronze as a tool modifier, using bronze as pipes for steam is going to become so important in later modifications to our base. And this is where the future base will be. Everything for purple. The sky here is pink and purple. It's a personal preference, and while what took probably a real life week to set up, we finally got this tower finished. In a lot of separate stages. I would use dirt as floors, cobblestone as walls, but this would not be the final iteration of the base. After all, a grass base is more than cheesy. This was the start of something that was pretty nice, at least to me. 48 blocks in diameter, and some longer term planning to make it a bit wider, because just one tower is kind of boring. I had some basic steam machines down, but I didn't really use them until I finished the multi-block to store steam within. Once that was done, it kind of started flowing more naturally, and there's gonna be some much larger time skips from here on out. Probably 80 gigabytes of wasted footage, 150 gigabytes of wasted footage. Regardless, I was starting to be happy with the way the base was shaping up. The next obvious goal for me was going to be getting into the Nether, which that's a whole other odyssey, trying to get steel for flint and steel. That recipe changed as well, but once that was done, made a dual multi-block to produce steel with some small base modifications in between. I started my journey into the Nether more than once, more than a few times, as we're gonna need sulfur to get some wire wrap, some rubber. Now that I'm a bit further into the pack, I really enjoy the different biomes that this mod pack adds. But at first, these ash blocks made everything a bit more, it's like soul sand is everywhere. For some reason, I felt like I could play this like I was safe, for lack of a better word. I didn't really think about that there would be infernal mobs out here. And I just wanted to walk around, really. Doesn't really matter though, because you're not gonna get too far. Looking back on that death is absolutely embarrassing. It is insane that I thought I could run away instead of just building a little shelter around me. But the next few deaths are a little bit worse. In my defense there, why would an iron pickaxe not be able to mine netherrack? That is some balancing that drives me insane. I get a little bit smarter, I bring some blocks with me. Make a little tomb for myself. Not just the second death, but the first death, all my stuff back. I haven't had a fuck up like this since. Since this first foray into the Nether, I still don't really walk on the surface. I have an underground mine shaft. It's where sulfur would spawn, you get some iron out of it too. And at this point where I need a ton of iron for wrought iron and steel, it's very, very useful. And now that I'm using a macerator non-stop from my steam machines, and I still need to get an electric macerator, if there even is one, I could macerate the iron, get wrought iron straight out of it. Well, after some more smelting. But it's starting to feel more like a system rather than just trying to survive. The quest book was finally starting to feel filled out, at least in the first few tiers I've been through, which, compared to the rest of the pack, is not a lot at all. The base was also coming along, and it was something I was starting to get a little bit proud of. I also liked just the layout of my little island, I guess you could call it. I like the mesa in the north, and I like the snow directly next to me. And I liked where I put my house. I was happy the magical forest spawned in here. Which brings me to getting free blood from all the witches that would spawn in my smeltery, which I could use to make resistors and step slime balls. There were a few slime islands I could have harvested from, but with the amount of blood I was getting out of that smeltery, it was never an issue. It was not something I needed to worry about. And just look how pretty this thing is. I mean, how could you not like this thing? Giant building in the middle of nowhere. Very happy, very excited. With that being said, I was not done yet. I moved everything upstairs, from storage to Steam. And after many, many hours, if not days, of mining, alloying, crafting, rebuilding, I was finally there. I was in low voltage. And I really should have gotten here earlier. It's still pretty much where I am right now, as of recording this. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, even though putting this video together did eat a ton of my time. I think I will keep making videos though. Maybe every other week, if not every week, in a way shorter form than 30 minutes. I've had other channels in the past that I just abandoned, but I don't think this will be one of them. It was nice talking to you. See you soon.